Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to The Reset. It is I, the one, the only, C-Dubs. And you guys are tuning in for a new episode of Behind Gray Eyes. So originally, I had intended to do an episode on learning and how that leads to living a fulfilled life. And I'll touch base on that later. You know what I mean? I had the adaptation and self-awareness episode before this one. And I was like, you know what? Adaptation, learning, and fulfilled life, they kind of coincide. But this is like way more important to me. This is very impromptu. I'm just doing this off the cuff. I was downstairs. I was working on my bike. And then this idea popped into my head of just, you feel a flame, just follow the flame. But, I mean, I also have a very impulsive nature. Let's get that right. If I have a good feeling or a good vibe, I'm gone. I follow that good vibe and whatnot. But we're going to go ahead and retract. Big M, I'm sorry, bro. I have no notes for this one. This is me literally just boom, boom, firing at the hip. You know, I can't help myself. But we're going to ride this wave of goodness, all these positive vibes going through my house right now. My daughter just got picked up by her mother a couple hours ago, and they're off doing whatever the girls do, you know what I mean? And I just had 9 pure days with my kid. 9 days of unadulterated, pure, imaginative fun. And it's really awesome, man. Like when I say my daughter is my whole world, what I mean is my kid is my whole world. And I learned so much from that little girl. You would think being 39 years on this earth, I would learn, I'd have learned quite a bit, but I'll be honest with you, my daughter taught me so much and she didn't even know it. Like the way she gets caught up in moments and just, it's whimsical, man. Like there's no worries in the world, and I had to kind of fasten myself to that plane of thinking because that's the truth, man. We had 9 days off together, unadulterated, no interruptions. It was just me, my boogie bear, and the imagination. And my God, man, I tell you what, I've had the time of my effing life. And if it looks like I've eaten a Smurf, it's because I just got done eating one of those sour apple, blue raspberry fun dips. We got a lot of candy over the past 2 weeks. And so after she left, I kind of sat down and I was pondering and I was thinking, and I did some YouTube University research on repairing my e-bike, and then I just picked up a fun dip and I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna take a break. So I started spooning that shit, and as I started sitting there thinking and grinding, I was like, you know what, like let's just make a podcast episode. And I think that's really important, man. Like spontaneity, impulsion, you know, like yeah, it can lead you down some bad roads. Don't get it twisted, it can definitely lead you down some bad roads, but it all boils down to it, man. Like, you got to have fun with it, bro. I've always preached that from day one. And here we go. Oh, he's always done this. He's always said that. But it's the honest to God's truth, man. Like, when you're a cheetah with spots, you can't change your spots into stripes. It just don't work like that, you know? Like, you can adapt and overcome, but when you're just built away, you're just built away. And so I'm going to follow this impulsion into something beautiful, I hope. And that's kind of what this whole 9 days was about, man, is my kid just led me down this road of rediscovery, if you will, man. Like, we sat down, we did some drawing, we did some video games, we went out and we kicked the ball around, and I can't tell you when the last time is that I ended up kicking a ball around. Like, I literally had the most fun I've ever had in a long time. I won't say ever, but that I've ever had in a long time, with just me and my boogie bear and hanging out around the house, going for walks, going and looking at wildlife, going out to the lake, standing on the dock for a little bit, coming back, going playing soccer, going and bouncing the basketball. And then whenever it was too hot, because man, I tell you what, in Florida it gets brutal fucking hot. It has been sweltering these past few days, and I felt bad because we couldn't go outside and play that often. But to the same degree, just because we couldn't go outside and play doesn't mean we couldn't have fun. You know, I'm trying to detach her from a lot of screen time. Don't get it twisted. We did do our video games, okay? We threw down on video games. There was a lot of Super Smash Brothers action. There was a lot of YouTube watching silly animals and we were watching soapbox racing. That's another thing too, is I forgot all about soapbox racing, and then I got a wild hair, and she loved it, man. We sat there for 2 hours one night just laughing at these guys racing down these hills in these little buggies that just tear away and tear apart. And if you get a chance, absolutely go check it out. Soapbox racing is so funny to watch, and there's just so much unadulterated passion and excitement that goes with it. And these are all just stepping stones into the spontaneity of things. I started reaching back into my childhood and what I grew up on and what I thought was kind of cool. And I didn't have a whole lot of money in the world. My family didn't have a whole lot of money in the world. So we had to sit there, we had to kind of make do with what we had. And then next thing I know, we didn't need all the money in the world, man. Me and my kid, we were just flowing and just doing thing after doing thing after doing thing. And don't get it twisted, she's still a toddler. So she'd try to throw a little attitude at her Papa Bear, and Papa Bear was like, I don't know who you think I am, but I ain't him. And it was nothing crazy, it was really cool to just kind of get down to the basics. And I will be honest, man, I don't know what I'm doing as a dad. I really don't. I'm just flying by the seat of my pants with my hair on fire and hoping to pray at God that I land somewhere soft, essentially, is what's going on. But she's had the time of her life. I had the time of my life. And we just clicked, man. And I think it's been a long time since I've done that. But I really think it's important that we as human beings, we as people, learn how to cut distractions off. Because, mind you, this entire time, I posted a little bit of Facebook sharing or whatnot because I want to be able to show the people that I care about how much I love my daughter and like how much fun we're having. But for the most part, technology and worries and stress and responsibilities, they went out the window. And that is so empowering, man. Like, it unlocks parts of your brain, at least for me. Let's just dial it back and come back to earth a little bit. For me, it unlocks parts of my brain, and I started realizing a lot of stuff that I'd forgotten as a kid. Because as you grow up, the grind gets real. Responsibilities take over. Things start to cloud your mind, and you forget how to have fun. Like actual, genuine, fuck it all fun. And so being able to do that with my kid for the past 9, almost 10 days, it was really cool. It was really awesome. Like, we had pizza one night, then we just munched out. It was like, yes. So there was one night where I was like, I don't know what to cook. We had so many leftovers left over in the fridge or whatnot. So we had a little bit of spaghetti left over, and then we had some chicken quesadillas that I had cooked. I cooked mojo chicken and potato medallions, and I got that video right there. We had some leftovers of that, and then I remember thinking one night, this was actually like 3 nights ago. It was 3 nights ago. And we were just sitting there. We were kicking it, and I was like, Boog, do you just want to munch? She looked at me, and she's like, what's munch? And I was like, just sit here and eat crackers and cheese, and her whole world lit up. Her eyes got real big. Crackers and cheese, little cans of cheese that you sit there and spray on a Ritz and clop them in your mouth or whatever. Like, she lit up like the 4th of July, and it was awesome, man. Like, just in that moment. And we had a lot of those moments to where it just nothing else mattered, man. Like, we weren't thinking about the responsibilities. We weren't thinking about having to go back to real life. We weren't thinking about all the pressures that come with growing up or going just through day-to-day life nowadays. And it's very hard to cut yourself from those distractions. You think about it, you have in your hand, I don't have my phone on me, but you have in your hand the wealth of information at a whim, man. And it's easy to get caught up in just doing the screen time thing, and over here, I've got my Switch. I'll sit there and I'll just zone out if I'm not careful. But we did that, but it was just a completely different vibe. And I highly recommend, do it responsibly, of course. Don't do this shit on a whim. If you're sinking, by all means, boo-boo, you got to grind. You got to claw your way up out that gutter. Don't just go all willy-nilly. But if you get the chance, man, I tell you what, just like pretty much put your phone on silent and just disconnect. Do whatever comes natural. And we got to kicking a soccer ball around. I ordered a basketball, and we just sat there and we bounced the ball back and forth on the back patio. We rolled the ball down the hallway when it wasn't too hot. We were out there in the little courtyard area, and we were kicking the ball around, and she's so funny, man. She's so funny. She's not a fan of bugs, and usually when she goes out and plays in the backyard, it's usually taken care of. Usually there's like a bug barrier down or something like that, but this is the first time that we actually went to the courtyard in my condo complex, and we got to having a good old time. This was like 9 o'clock in the morning, man, and we got to like just kicking the ball around. We were running this way, we were running that way, we were booting the ball up, and she was having a good old time. And then all of a sudden, like a dragonfly came, followed by a little wasp, one of them little mud daubers that floats around on the ground, and her whole world got shook up. She's like, "Oh my God, Dad, bugs!" I was like, "Yeah, baby, we're in we're in the wilderness. We're outside. There's bugs. It's gonna happen, And so I was trying to capitalize on the moment, because just around the corner, the old Florida heat was gonna crank up and good times go down. You know what I mean? But it was just a lot of fun, man. And we kicked the ball around, and then we came back inside, and we goofballed. We did a tickle fight. We ended up doing some drawing. We ended up doing anything and everything under the sun, man. And it was just really cool. And this goes back to just disconnecting, man. Like, I didn't have my phone in my hand. There was no stresses going on. I had no worries of finances, because I caught up and got a month ahead on all my bills, so I could sit there and basically enjoy those 9 days for exactly what I wanted them to be. And it was probably one of the most magical times of my life, man. First time I've ever had a paid time off vacation, ever. In the entirety of my existing, I've never had something like that. And I didn't have to go for a cruise, you know what I mean? I didn't have to go and do anything super immaculate. It was literally just slow life down, realize what you have, be blessed, be thankful, and go on about your way. And I'll be honest with you, man, I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it for 100 years the other way, because the way me and my boogie bear bonded, man, and I know that sounds like cliche to say, but it's really bonding time. Like, she's so young, she's so precious, and like, I'm not going to get that many moments with her. So to be able to dial life back, I took the initial jump, I adapted to my situation. Boom, 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 stacked my bills up, got them all paid off, stacked a little cash in the bank account. We were able to eat like kings and queens, or, maybe not kings and queens, but we got pretty damn close to it. And it was just a lot of fun, man. Whatever she wanted, she got, not in a spoiled way, but like, I didn't have to be full-time dad at that point in time, if that makes sense. I'll always be full-time dad. I'll always look out for her, and I'll always take care of her, and I'm going to teach her right from wrong. But there were so many moments, so much time where I got to be a 4-year-old, Let's be fucking honest. I got to be a 4-year-old, and it was just cool, man. Like, I'm riding that wave of exhilaration, and I'm going to take it through to the end now. I've mentioned that I'm going through some rough shit, and it's just these are one of those peaks of sunshine, man. It's a bright, sunny day in my life right now, so I'm going to make the best go of it that I possibly can. And I don't even know if there's really a point to this episode. This is me just kind of getting on here and reeling about how good of a time I had on my first ever vacation, on my ample amount of time with my daughter, and just realizing that you don't have to white knuckle through life. Sometimes you just gotta, and whatever happens is whatever happens. And it's a pretty amazing feeling. It's pretty exhilarating. Over this past week and a half too, I got to introduce my kiddo to motocross as well. I grew up loving motocross. I did a little BMXing when I was a kid. Nothing crazy. I mean, I didn't do all the crazy stunts. I was more of the racing side. I loved going fast, man. And I'll never forget getting my Trek TR10. That was the first thing I ever bought with my first paycheck as a 14-year-old line cook. Is I sat there and I went and I got myself a Trek TR10. I saved up like 3 or 4 of my checks, and I went in and I was prouder than all get out of it. And it was rediscovering those memories with my daughter there next to me. I was like, man, I forgot so much about this crap. So much of it just gone to the wayside. And I think it's really important to rediscover the fun. It's real important to and it's gonna sound snowflakey or whatever, but like rediscover your inner child. Like all those passions that you had as a kid, rediscover them, man. They're there for a reason. And I'm 39 years old, but I'm feeling like I'm 16 again, man. Like I could go out and I'm not gonna, but I want to just go and take my bike and ramp off some shit. Go fast, land hard, go at it again, and yeah, man. It's just, but what really amplifies that for me, and hands down my favorite, is being able to share that with my daughter. I feel like there's a new chapter in my life happening, and it doesn't all have to be grim. It can't be all unicorns and rainbows. Let's be fucking real. That shit don't exist. But right now in her life, I'm able to make it be rainbows and unicorns. That way when she gets later on down in life and she gets her own kid, she has these memories that she got from her dad that were rainbows and unicorns. And whenever shit starts getting dismal and black and you can't see the other side, boom, she's got something in her back pocket that she can whip out, and maybe it'll bring a random smile to her face. And so yeah, I guess the whole point of this episode is just rediscovery, man. This past week and a half has done wonders for my mental. It's done wonders for me and my daughter, just as far as being close. We were inseparable, like by choice. It wasn't like you're chained to me, you're not going anywhere. No, it was by choice. And like, yeah, we would get on each other's nerves, but we got to do some gaming together. I got to introduce her to some stuff that I enjoyed as a kid. We ended up doing some creative stuff together, sat there. And in fact, I'll show you here, maybe not this episode, but I'll show you next episode. I was given a task by my daughter to draw a picture of an elephant, a zebra, and a heart. And long story short, I did exactly that. Yeah, it's not up here. Oh, geez. I want to go get it and show y'all. I probably should have thought that ahead, but it's fine. I'll show y'all later, and I'll do a little YouTube short on it. But it was a lot of fun, man. It was just fun to rediscover having fun. In this day and age, it's so rough. It's so hard to go through the grind and the motions when there's constant distractions, there's constant stressors, there's constant pressure, and you just got to keep going. Sometimes you just got to go, boop, do not disturb, chuck the phone out the window, and go get it, boo-boo. But, yeah, I'm going to leave my ramblings right there. I think that's a good closing point right there. I don't know, man. I just got to feeling real good, and I wanted to pop on here. There's no real moral takeaway. There's no real lesson to be learned. It's just me babbling on about how happy I am over my past 9 days being able to spend time with my daughter and how that's important. And sometimes you just got to let go and rediscover who you are. That said, thank you guys so much. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you when I see you.